What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Deontay Milder.
That man would beat my ass. I am precious.
Welcome back to another episode of Point and Laugh, the magic show where I make you a better deck builder and a worse person by means of hurtful allegory. This week, a Pramikon player learns the strongest wall was the one between him and genuine human emotion. After that, we've got a dog deck that fails to catch a single car and then shits in your lap. And finally, a cat girl murders you violently.
Hell yeah.
Thank you all for your time. For everybody who subscribes to this video, I will allow my editor to talk to me about Dispatch for 2 additional seconds. Mango! Make something happen. Communism as described by a 90-year-old American man. Are creatures. Okay, reasonable. Are spells. Whenever a player plays an instant or sorcery card, remove it from the game, then that player copies each instant or sorcery card removed from the game with Eye of the Storm. For each copy, the player may play the copy without paying its mana cost. Knowledge pool. Same thing as Eye of the Storm. Covet these nuts. I know for a goddamn fact, anytime you go on a group outing, you're either the person that doesn't have an opinion and only goes with the flow, or you're the person who only submits joke activities, like all smoking crack behind the Wendy's. Although, maybe you've done that once or twice based on this deck list. 12 basics, holy shit. Oh, underfunded communism. We haven't even taxed the billionaires. Get me out of here, Stream Deck. What the f? I don't think we have confusion in the... Oh, we definitely have confusion in the right... Oh my god. This is the most Republican deck I've seen in my entire life. Hey guys, what if I did a silly haha brought to you by me having every card in my deck, infinite mana, and I just f***ed with you all the time? This is not communism. This is Elon Musk's eventual security state. This is the island that Zuckerberg bought. Okay, illusion of choice. Sure, okay. Less okay, but all right. The means of production. Turns and phases owned by the state. We have the confusion of the ranks has hit the tower. I just don't even want to imagine what the stack looks like in an average game with this deck. This feels like a shock collar ass deck. Like every single thing that's happening. It's silly because it's not meant to win. Like this deck is not, I think the only way this deck can win is if it draws Alexios and nobody draws removal. $1,200 on something. I mean, I guess our lands are like, oh, our lands are half. We got fetch lands. We're fetching a basic land, and we have a fucking Triumph and Hope. We have never heard of multicolor mana. One time with Eye of the Storm, we got up to 1k spells on the stack. So how is life working out having the same personality as a Smash Bros. Stage Hazard? I found you, dog. Here's the fetch land speeding you up. I would also believe that you are so unfamiliar with building a land base, you just put in every fetch land because you were told they were good. I wouldn't be shocked by that. Based on the fact that we found triomes, shock lands, bond lands, and we know no other way to make 2 colors of mana. I would not be surprised if we just went, hey, fetch lands are really good. I'm gonna put one of each in here. What's being fetched? Aspirations, Terrence. I do not think this is true win conless stacks. I think it is really bad stacks, but there's at minimum 2 cards that could get the job done. Look, the land-based is not my finest work. Do you think any of this is? They would revoke your civil engineering degree for this wall, dog. All right, we get a mana rock. We get 1 of each basic. You're definitely keeping this hand. So we play Norin, turn 1. Hell yeah, we're the goats. Turn 2, I ramp because I'm a reasonable fucking person. Pramikon time. I choose left for obvious reasons. We land drop again. I cannot yet covet my jewel. I could mob verdict, but that doesn't do anything. I guess I choose Fate Spinner just to be super goddamn annoying. Everybody picks combat. There is now a low-level whining noise in the background of this LGS. Hell yeah, Prismatic Vista. I get one of my 8 million basic lands. I have 5 mana now. Fuck it, I covet some jewels. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. We have the goddamn thing now. I'm gonna presume nobody gets through because only one person can attack me and I have 2 assholes. I go Hive Mind. Can I do anything else? I could do plea for power. So now everybody gets all my spells. And then I put an extra turn spell in the stack, and then everybody shoots me. Everybody resolves a copy of plea for power. I'm gonna assume that at this point in the social experiment, my friend group believes we can continue playing Commander. Everybody's gonna vote to draw 9. Everybody draws 9 cards. I am tapped out. The table is coming together like the Justice League to figure out how to kill me quickly, but only one person can do it unless they cast removal, at which point everybody else casts removal. I almost like it. I think I'm gonna catch flack for that, but I almost believe in this deck. Your land base is joke material in and of itself, but we have 40, so we're not gonna miss land drops. Why would they want to kill me? I just gave them 9 cards. Yes, while also being the most annoying person in the world. I think what I dislike about this deck is that we are channeling random bullshit go without any of the karate skills of Moon Knight. Moon Knight and Deadpool are the energies that this deck is trying to follow in the footsteps of. We're trying to do like LOL so random. It's gonna get fucking crazy. I don't even know what's gonna happen. But the catch with those two is that at the end of the day, they just smack the fucking shit out of you. At the end of the day, they just fucking stab you. And we have the beginnings of something like that with Insurrection, with Disrupt Decorum, Alexios. I believe less in Slicer. I think at like a lot of casual tables, it's like pretty possible that this guy doesn't stay big enough. And so I think what I dislike is we have a lot of things dedicated to random bullshit go. We don't have very many things dedicated to making sure we draw the cards that beat you to death. And the cards that do draw me into beating you to death feel incredibly condescending. Maybe that's the energy you're going for. If these are with longtime friends, that is the energy I would be going for. Oh, draw 3 rather than draw 9 on plea for power. It's more, not each. Thank you. I was reading it as expropriate. So they all just vote to draw 3. Same difference. I hate these 2 cards. God, I get new lines on my forehead every single time I see these 2 cards. Having played this deck, what usually happens is the stack gets so large there's no real way to resolve it correctly and then concede to avoid the aneurysm. Dog, what? This is my hostage situation deck. This is not my magic deck. This is my no more magic deck. Everyone else, not me. If your table calls that anything but a draw, you do not need a deck roast. You need group therapy. If your table goes, oh, this is way too crazy to resolve, let's call it a game, and you go, that means I win, you need a doctor. You need to be under observation with those 3 people, and they probably need to be handcuffed, not you. Because once you get them talking, they are going to fucking get you. I mean, old head, it sounds like a fun time at the end of the night. This sounds like we're all getting tired. Our brains are mush. We don't actually want to play Commander anymore. We want to play Magic the Gathering cards in each other's face and then laugh a lot. Now, if you brought this deck to Gen Pop, you would have to move states. This is evil, it is hateful, it is probably funny exactly one time. This is the deck you pull out when someone you low-key hate tries to join the pod. I mean, it's the perfect deck for the right word. It's not whataboutism. It's the perfect deck for people who are trying to snake the bracket system. It's the perfect deck for somebody that is like, that cares too much about trying to win the game. If you got somebody at your table who's playing bracket 2 and the most important thing in the world is perfect threat assessment and them winning, this is what's happening when you play this deck in their face. That's funny. That's a use case. You are going to hell if you ever bring it near me. But that is a sure as shit use case for this deck. But it is 100% Joseph Stalin the table. It's evil, it's heinous, there's a million ways we could fix it. The number one way, right after maybe making sure all of our fetch lands can hit valid targets, is deleting all of the non-lands and making new ones. Welcome to the Direct Help TV channel. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could do to make it work, right? Somebody talked earlier about if your favorite card in the deck is Hive Mind, that can convert into you actually winning the game if you do Final Fortune, because your copy will resolve last and you will be the one who loses the game last. So we could make this deck to win in a reasonable period of time. This seems like the type of deck Algebra's whipping out when they want to swap over to Eye of the Storm. Sorry, I meant the other card with the same. Oh, okay, they are meaningfully different. Hive Mind goes to everybody else. Eye of the Storm, you get everything before it. it. Okay. Okay, so Final Fortune will not work with this. Final Fortune will work with Hive Mind, but not with Eye of the Storm. Is there a reason we... I'm not even gonna ask. I'm not even gonna ask why we didn't build a good deck. Why we didn't build a good deck around that. I do think regardless of what you do, 100% a containment zone deck. If you ever bring this in Gen Pop, I do not know you. We never spoke. I will not pay your bail. In a dedicated play group, late at night, I get it. I'm with you. These videos are almost entirely subsidized by my Patreon community, so a special thank you to Vanilla Bean Ice Cream, Eclectic Waste, Katya Marg, Christian B, Adam S, Solar Movie, Kyle, Chemical Pine, Alpha Dog 2064, Zelenor, Otterfire, Fun, ... Phelan, Believe, Torben T, Bobby Joe Lord, Bradley T, Bo, Beefcake, and Silky Wilkie. I appreciate every last one of you. This is Hound Kindred, made specifically for Mauled Hound, the Hound deck. This was made by my VIPs, so we are going to get an inside look into the brilliant minds of some of the people who listen to my advice the most. All right, we have Sophia, who we can turn artifact tokens into counters on dogs. So it should be incredibly difficult to fuck this up. That's a very good effect. King Cow says, I'm not associated with this. We hope this deck can win Mauled Hound over through his hatred for green, Bant, Kindred, and counters. This is bracket 2 silly. It used to have counter synergy, but we have gotten rid of them. All right, we got the dogs out. We have bestest boys. Are these really the bestest boys you could find? Enoch Wayfarer. I mean, he's cute. A 2/2 with vigilance. Your eye in bracket 1 greedily. Battalion. I have never seen this mechanic in my life. If I throw all my dogs at you into what is surely their death, my 2/2 gets lifelink. Amazing. A 2-mana 3/3 with vigilance. Amazing. Mushroom, ooh, Flicker, and a counters deck. Tremendous. Boss Scryfall, that stuff. Dogs aren't supported that much compared to cats. That's why I don't like Kindred! Shocking alert! I don't support racism! Breaking news! Local Magic creator, not a fan of segregation. Come in here. We hope this deck can win you over on Speciest Enclaves, Mauled. Please and thank you. My first deck was a dog deck for my puppy girl GF, and I fell to my knees when it wasn't possible. They just like puppies. Nope, they just like puppies. I'm not opening that. Okay, Torgal rocks. Traveling Botanist is fine. Respect, all right, respect on your name for not using all the goddamn changelings. I think the thing a good deck. It's a good deck. It's a good deck. Dog houses, great tag. Why are the dog houses shitty? Why do we have the most fucking whatever dog houses of all time? Where are my utility lands? Why can't the dogs have enrichment toys on their lands? Draw. Honorary best girl. That, listen, man, she got the dogs out. I do not grant her the race of well, no, race of hound, because it's creature type. No, my brain did go to the right place. Fuck you. I was right. The rank of hound, either. Volo is anti-kindred. This is a straight up non-bo. This is a deck with one creature type that says when you cast a creature type, note its creature type, and I only get to draw a card for each different creature type noted. He's the shittiest dog keeper ever. I always talk about the important part of Kindred is where you break Kindred, and we've broken Kindred for a downgrade. I see 35 dogs. Now I see a lot of creature types, notably, many of them are one-offs. So we're hoping to get soldiers, we're hoping to get elementals, mounts. All right, we'll see. I don't trust you for a moment, but we'll see. Yeah, Distant Melody, Kindred Discovery, of course work. Make Bestest Boys stronger. I was thinking about Banner of Kinship angrily today. I truly believe that this card it is a good mechanical card to put in. I think when you are trying to make a flavor deck, the moment you reach for Banner of Kinship, Door of Destinies, Coat of Arms, that is you waving the white flag on the deck. I think it is, because if we're gonna have a Kindred deck that feels like a creature type in Magic the Gathering, I feel like it should be achieving something special that transmits the flavor of that creature type. And as soon as we reach for Banner of Kinship and Door of Destinies, it's us saying, well, the flavor of this creature type is I have 5 of them. That doesn't make it a bad card, particularly in bracket 2. Like in bracket 2, sure, combat's good. If you want a deck that will win the game and it's a kindred deck because you like the creature type personally and you just want to look at dogs while you play Magic, hell yeah, that works. But from a perspective of like, this is my deck where I bring the dogs out, man, and then I start playing music and I'm doing a whole bit, the jazz music stops instantly. Might as well play a Craterhoof at that point. Correct, that's what it is. And I don't think you are like morally objectionable just for playing a Craterhoof. I think it's morally objectionable to play Craterhoof when you want it to be a narratively driven experience. Makes a Bestest Boy. Perfect. Perfect. This is a good dog walker. Great dog walker. Protect our Bestest Boys. That's very... Imagining a bunch of dogs in dresses is extremely hilarious, so that works. Well, you can't beat many of the other decks with more streamlined strategies with a 2/2 and some silly abilities to just get squashed even in bracket 2. Right. So I'm saying some decks shouldn't exist. Okay, and we also have some ramp. God, I can't bear to look at a 6 mana 6/5 with trample. Sure, the removal exists. Sideboard just to make me angry. Okay, let me see how this functions. So we get Cavern of Souls turn 1. Oh, and I would have drawn this for turn 1. Excellent. I get a dog. He has a counter on him. Humans gain indestructible. Amazing. You're a fucking race traitor. I get an island. Next turn. I pass my 3rd turn. Okay, thank fuck. I do Sophia. I now create Tiny. I saddle the district mascot with Tiny. I have successfully put a dog on top of another dog in turn 4 of this commander game. With not a hint of irony in my voice. I swing a 1/1 that becomes a 2/2. He dies immediately. You can't cast her, she's a human, not a dog. Then pretend I grabbed the right basic dog. I don't give a fuck. I'm too hurt. You're not stopping me. We're casting the commander right now. The corgi's fucking dead. I draw a card. Oh boy, a 5 mana 3/4 joy. Oh boy, oh geez, oh god, oh fuck. This dog sucks. This dog cares about humans. We don't care about humans. Fuck the humans. Alright, I shared roots. I get another island. I hate it here. I hate it here. It's turn 6. I have a 1/1, a 2/2, and a 1 and a 3/4. I'm so fucking sad. Okay, counters give me first strike. That matters. I go Einok Bondkin. I send Tiny in, and I Beast Within whatever blocks him. So that means I get a clue and a food now, as is my fucking right. I get a clue and a food, and now I can do something. And over the course of the next turn, I would have sacked the food. All my dogs have counters on them, so now all my dogs have first strike. I draw the Buster Sword, which is sick as fuck. I strap it to Tiny. Tiny's a 6/5 now? Tiny's a 6/5. He goes crazy. I'm gonna hope that I hit because nobody wants to resist me at this point. I blow up the most problematic thing. It's turn 8. And then I get a clue and a food again. So now it begins to work. As long as I have artifact tokens to sacrifice to these dogs, this is really just a like go wide board state. So what I think is a success is you guys did do a great job of finding 36 cards that say dog on them. Sorry, 41 cards. 36 cards that say dog on them. That was awesome. You did a really good job of finding 36 cards with dog on them. I dislike where we have broken kindred. I guess Kennel Keeper is like okay for this guy. What I would really like to see is a deck that feels much more like I'm being attacked by a police canine unit, which is quite the sentence. But if we think about kindred and we think about a kindred deck evoking the spirit of whatever kindred it's dealing with, I feel like a dog deck should feel like a ravenous pack of dogs is attacking you. And when a ravenous pack of dogs attack, or even like one tiny dog attacks you, I feel like it's not, oh, they get me, they get me with overwhelming force. It's they're so fast and stupid and they just run you down really quickly. And then because they've put you off balance, like God forbid you fall down while being attacked by dogs, because then you're dead. And I think what would channel that more, and I'm going to pull up a card that I don't think deserves to go in the deck, but is the type of deck is the type of card that I immediately began thinking about. As I said, should not go in the deck because I hate counters, but I think what the deck is missing, I think what the deck should be breaking kindred for is more things that benefit from dealing combat damage. Because what I'm looking at is we have a bunch of shitty tempo creatures. Right, and I said this card shouldn't go in the deck specifically, but I think the energy is not, okay, let's break kindred to refill our hands, let's break kindred to go over the top. Somebody can't understand the sentence, you shouldn't put this in the deck. So like bread for the hunt. It dissatisfies me because I don't want this to devolve into a +1/+1 counters deck, because then it's just fucking Titus. Then this is just a fucking Titus deck. So those are my judgments and my recommendations. I think you have found hounds, but you have not made me feel hounds. I do appreciate all of the work you all are collectively putting into this Hound Kindred deck, but I do think it has to go back to the drawing board, and you must meditate upon the vibes of dog. We're going to Irish Rager's deck, a spooky deck. The entire primer says, make as much mana as possible with Roxanne to cast a spell to win. Game plan is simple, make meteorites, fling damage. It's more silly than spooky. A lot of times I'm able to do the thing, the deck runs out of gas fast, and I know I need to find more card draw to add. This is technically bracket 2 because deflecting swat is no longer a game changer. Our best card was you going, no, please! Please, somebody else! How on earth did you run out of room for card draw in a deck that is just the commander and doublers? Big mana dump. Okay, so we for the common good, we make a million meteorites, bang, 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 bang. Hell to pay. Garbage. Comet Storm, good. Draco's Power, good. So 3 for 4, 75%. That passes high school. Find rocks, question mark. Oh, is this your whole draw section? Or load, oh, wow, and we've put ramp in there too, to make it look bigger. A common green player activity. We have 5 pieces of ramp, which not enough. So it seems like we're also trying to do treasures. So we're not just trying to make meteorites. So we're ramping. We have a few things that make treasure. We have 1 spell that is card positive. Yeah, we have 1 spell in the deck that's card positive. Made of rocks, 34 lands, of course. Of course. But Treasure Vault certainly makes a certain type of sense. Makes rocks. All right, so we have more artifact ramp. We have treasure generators. We have copium. Okay, we make us a rock. We have deep, deep copium. We make more treasures. More treasures, more treasures, more treasures. Not free rocks. Good. We have some degree of acceleration. Jahira works well, rock protection. Rocks hurt, rocks win. Okay. This is where I'm going. Yeah, all right. This is where I'm going to begin questioning the ability of the deck to achieve what it wants to do. Because what the deck wants to do is buy an illegal quantity of fireworks. And it wants to set off an illegal quantity of fireworks in their neighbor's garage. That's funny, objectively. I think where we're getting distracted is we then went, okay, well, I'm not always getting the exact card that I want to get, and so I need to have backup ways to win. And so I'm going to go into pingers. And if I'm going into pingers, I need damage triplers, of course. And if I have damage triplers, presumably we get even more confused. And then here's more damage doublers. Yes. Amazing. Yes. First recommendation, and this is going to be hard depending on how old you are. I think you care a little bit too much about money. Displaced dinosaurs is awesome. That will work really, really well with treasure generation. We have committed a quarter of this deck to treasures. If a friend came to you and said, yeah, I recently redid my investment portfolio and 25% of their money was invested in Bitcoin. I realize it's a silly game, but silly doesn't have to mean stupid. And I think a lot of space that could be used to draw into our cards that win the game, or at least draw into cards that make us a shitload of meteorites, are currently getting taken up by like relatively weak treasure generators. Captain Lannery Storm is not great. She is like okay at best. Kibo is fine. Bro is hanging out. I can see City of Death being fun if you do like City of Death, then the turn after I copy a treasure token and I play commander, and then the next 4 turns I get to copy meteorites every turn. sick nasty. I love it. That's great. In every other world, if we're just making more treasures, and especially like alchemist talent, we had a really tight plan that our commander was supporting. We had the really tight plan of, I'm gonna play my cat lady, I'm gonna be her little kept boy, and she's gonna make all the money and blow everybody up. That's great. And then we've gone, what if I had to recreate that in the aggregate? Like, you're doing the Moneyball strategy without losing your high tier batter. You're going, okay, well, what if all of my deck was dedicated to doing what Roxanne can do by herself, but redoing it needlessly? And so what I would recommend doing is really gutting everything that is just an okay treasure generator, either for things that get Roxanne sooner, protect Roxanne, or allow Roxanne to make additional meteorites. And then I think you will have a much more enjoyable time. Because like Academy Manufacturer, okay, we're just getting, like, all of your things make treasure anyway. We're just making clues and food on top of treasures we already had. And the clues and food do nothing for us unless we've hit one of these pingers, or unless we've hit displaced dinosaurs. But if we just hit displaced dinosaurs with our meteorite maker, we're already happy. And so it's this unnecessary, it's like 1 inch of cake, 10 inches of frosting. And like Hellkite Tyrant, if we had 20 artifacts that could make mana, we do win the game. It's called napalm. We have the win condition. Clues are draw and food works with Peregrine Took for card draw. See, these are the rationalizations of a madman. These are true statements that you have used to convince yourself into playing, used to delude yourself into playing terrible, terrible cards. We have Peregrine Took in this fucking deck? Like, you're in trouble. You're not helping yourself. Yeah, man, listen. Listen, dog. So we have, similar to how we had a strategy with our commander, and we went, how do I recreate this strategy in the aggregate? You went, okay, there are cards that draw me cards, but what if instead of a card that drew me cards, I played a card that could only draw me cards if I made a bunch of tokens with a different card? And then you did a little dance and you started scatting and you were like, yeah, I got it. The world's not ready. I'm not saying that you can't find joy in that, but if we're investigating, oh, why does this deck gas out? It's because instead of like an intake system in your engine, you have some type of Minecraft funny farm that feeds into it, when we should just be playing things that do the direct thing we want. And so personally, I feel like Peregrine Took probably came in around the time we brought in these guys. Like, we probably played, I think the most plausible, not the only plausible sequence of events, but the most plausible is we made the deck, we noticed it was fragile to Roxanne getting removed, and we went, okay, I need different things that can do this. And you were like, I want to make a lot of treasures, and so I need an alternate win con if I don't draw into Comet Storm, so I'm gonna have all these pingers. And then if I'm gonna have all these pingers, it would be good to have additional artifacts. And then if I'm gonna have all these additional artifacts, oh, I can use them for card draw. And these are the types of like second and third order combinations that I think actually detract from casual decks a lot. You can start to do those when the machine is really, really, really reliable. But as it stands, if we draw Peregrine Took without drawing a token doubler or Academy Manufacturer at the right time, or if any of them get removed, or if we just get like collateraled by a board wipe, God forbid we have to block with the motherfuckers, the machine breaks down very, very quickly, because we're not just doing things like, like goddamn hard casting Harmonize is one of the better plays this deck has. We do not need to Spiteful Banditry Post. We can, but I think the deck is improved bodily and immediately by taking all of the things that are lower tier treasure generators and just shoving more meteorites in it. I do think Magda the Horde Master could be decent for treasure generation. I like that it works with the commander. I don't like that outside of the commander we don't have a shitload of crimes, but let me see how this currently plays. Exile cycling, anything I said was bad. So these two cards don't exist. Great. We keep this, we go Fire Garden, Birds of Paradise. Next turn, we go Forest, Crash Out because I don't have 3 mana ramp. Crash Out again because I didn't have enough ramp in my opening hand, but I get a mountain. Play Parallel Lives. Inventor's Fair, Commander, double Meteorite. I get 4 damage somewhere, relatively happy. Whether or not Roxanne gets shot, if she gets shot, that's actually fine for us because we've paid for her commander tax with this. Bam, bam. We go, actually, I swing my commander. Oh, I make a tapped meteorite, so yeah, I can't use it. I make 2 more meteorites. Huzzah. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I go bootlegger's stash. My lands can now make treasures. I make 6 treasures. Huzzah. I go to my next turn, and now I look, see, I have hell to pay. I have one of my X-Spell payoffs, and it means nothing because I cannot shoot a man directly in the chest. I cannot shoot a man directly in the chest. I cannot convert these into copies of Roxanne. I can do the very powerful thing of casting City on Fire. So now my meteorites deal 6. That's relatively scary, but we're missing card draw and we're missing the last piece of conversion. And so as a thought exercise, what I would like to put to you is the idea that right now you would want to draw Peregrine Took versus Harmonize. It's probably attractive to draw in this position. It would be attractive to draw Hellkite Tyrant. It would be attractive to draw Ingenious Artillerist or Reckless Fireweaver, because then we're pinging for 3 and I can play them and I can tap these lands to make 12 more treasures, and then I would ping the table for 36. But we're mostly out of bullets, and the idea that like the Earth Crystal or Kibo was going to matter for the type of thing we were trying to do here, god damn. Oh true, we can get an artifact. If there's one particular Inventor's Fair will let us get one particular artifact if there is one that helps us here. I don't know the deck well enough to know, but I do know that like we're not going to be mad at Chaos Theory, but I'm very, very mad at Hell to Pay. Hell to Pay is the type of thing that doesn't seem like it's going to be that great unless the deck's already working, and if the deck's already working, it doesn't really do anything meaty for us. And so from here, we're just kind of like land passing, and we have functionally infinite mana, but we don't have any outputs for that mana. We just land drop and wait for somebody else to fucking murder us. So that is going to be it for your deck, Irish Rager. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to the manual ad break, and then Kobylis is coming to the stage. I'm going to go re-up my water, and then I will be right back. Hey, what's the best Cody build? Not building Cody. Hope that helps, Joey.